this is my thing, Nicki Minaj, right? Why would I be here sitting in line like, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, knowing that the next day there was gonna be so much footages of that same night?
Remember when Cardi B mentioned there was footage from that wild moment with Nicki Minaj? Well, turns out she wasn't bluffing, and she's finally made it public. In this video, I'll break down everything caught on camera and how it connects to the ongoing feud between the two rap heavyweights, what many are calling the 2025 explosion. Let's be honest, the Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj rivalry has always been chaotic, but this year it completely spiraled. We're way past shady bars or subtle likes. This round had leaked calls, deleted diss tracks, kids getting dragged, husbands mocked, and fan bases ready to crash the internet over two queens who just can't coexist. And the chaos really kicked off when Cardi dropped her long-awaited sophomore album, Am I the Drama? In late September 2025, right before a July 2024 phone call mysteriously leaked online. In that clip, Cardi was going off, full Bronx mode, threatening to fight Ice Spice during her Y2K promo at the Empire State Building. You can clearly hear her saying, "I'ma beat her ass. I'ma knock her the F*** out. You think I'm playing? I'll beat you the F*** up." And she didn't stop there. In the same call, Cardi threw shade at Latto, calling her weak, and even fired shots at Megan Thee Stallion. To many online, it sounded like Cardi was feeling heat from the new wave of women in rap. Whether that's true or not, the timing was too perfect. The leak surfaced just a day after Am I the Drama dropped, almost like someone wanted to ruin her big moment. Cardi brushed it off saying, "You'll believe anything. That audio old as hell, and you'll know I talk my S*** when I'm mad." But blogs and barbs didn't care. They ran with it like it was fresh tea. And of course, Nicki Minaj wasn't about to sit back quietly. Nicki jumped on X, posting bars that read straight like diss lyrics before quickly deleting them. But screenshots spread instantly. One said, "Falling off the charts with a big belly, I run trains. Barefoot, still smelly, still couldn't outsell me." Another one read, "Surgery to look like me." Nicki was clearly not holding back. She even tossed in accusations, Barney B, Rico fraud, and perjury. Those lines mocked Cardi's looks, her sales, and even hinted at her legal issues. Fans were sure Nicki was about to drop a full diss track, but she wiped the post before it escalated. Still, Cardi wasn't letting it go. She fired back on X with a storm of replies, calling Nicki Cocaine Barbie and clowning her obsession. "Damn, you streaming my name hard as hell. Now kiss my feet." She doubled down, roasting Nicki's age and long career. "You've been in this game like 16 years. You should be comparing yourself to your real peers, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. I was in high school when you debuted. Why are you even comparing yourself to me?" That's how Cardi fired back. And from there, things got uglier than ever before. This round of their feud dove deeper than music. It dragged family, motherhood, and fertility straight into the dirt. Nicki threw shade at Cardi's parenting with a few not-so-subtle likes, and soon rumors started flying from barb circles about Cardi's kids being on the spectrum. Cardi hit back hard, accusing Nicki of struggling with fertility and even implying drugs were involved. At that point, people started saying the beef had nothing to do with music anymore. It had turned into full-blown character destruction. And once the fire reignited, the entire rap game decided to chime in. JT from City Girls mocked Cardi's album sales, tweeting, "Oh, that H***y ugly and mad. She knows she lied." Nicki reposted it instantly. Then, Cardi's sister, Hennessy Carolina, went to war for her, defending her non-stop and dragging Nicki in multiple posts. 50 Cent told Complex, "This isn't gonna end well. Hope the girls stop before it gets worse." Waka Flocka Flame called the whole thing corny, saying both women needed to grow up and boss up. But instead of cooling off, every new comment poured more fuel on the fire. Suddenly, it wasn't just Nicki versus Cardi. It felt like the entire culture picked sides. Barb spammed Cardi's pages with snake emojis, offset memes, and clown gifs, while Cardi's fans hit back with Grandma Minaj trends and non-stop posts about Kenneth Petty's past. People even started posting screenshots of actual threats they were receiving. At that point, it wasn't music beef, it was digital trench warfare. And here's the kicker. It started hurting business. Some of Cardi's brand partners reportedly pulled back, afraid to be caught in the chaos. Nicki didn't come out untouched either. Every time she reignited the drama, her husband's legal issues resurfaced, overshadowing her releases. Even streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple were accused of taking sides with their playlist placements. Fans swore the algorithms were rigged. So while the feud was a goldmine for blogs and stan accounts, it was a nightmare for both their brands. And honestly, that's the tragic part. This whole situation shows exactly how the industry keeps pitting women against each other. Nicki and Cardi definitely added fuel to it, no doubt. But the blogs, podcasts, and stan pages keep feeding the fire because two women beefing sells more than two women winning. As Cardi said in a 2025 interview, Sometimes it feels like female rap isn't even about music anymore. It's about who hates who the most. And between Nicki and Cardi, that hate's been burning for almost a decade. Hip-hop's seen some wild feuds end before. Jay-Z and Nas made peace. Jeezy and Gucci even shared a stage after literal murder beef. Nicki never addressed those claims head-on, but the Barbs went into full defense mode, accusing Cardi of spreading baseless lies and tearing down a black woman with drug slander. Meanwhile, that leaked Cardi audio shading Latto reopened old wounds. Back in 2022, Latto and Nicki had a very public fallout after Latto accused Nicki of bullying her over Grammy submissions. So when Barbs heard Cardi calling Latto weak, they pounced, branding her as two-faced, pretending to support other female rappers while secretly dragging them. Latto stayed silent in 2025, but her fans didn't. They joined the fray, sparking a mini three-way mess. Cardi's younger sister Hennessy Carolina jumped in full force, defending her non-stop. She wrote, "You're not about to keep talking slick about my sister like she ain't the one putting the Bronx on the map." Hennessy accused Nicki's fans of being obsessed weirdos and even hinted Nicki pays blogs to smear Cardi. Whether true or not, her posts racked up thousands of likes and gave Bardi Gang new ammo. Then Charlamagne Tha God crowned Nicki Donkey of the Day, saying she was acting out of unhealed trauma, and the Barbs weren't having it. They flooded the Breakfast Club pages with hate comments, calling Charlamagne washed up and jealous of Nicki's longevity. Clips resurfaced from Nicki's 2018 Queen Radio episode where she shaded Charlamagne, proving that tension between them had been brewing for years. By now, the fans had turned into detectives. Barbs dug up old Cardi interviews, like the one where she admitted to post-pregnancy surgeries, to mock her for Nicki's surgery to look like me line. Meanwhile, Bardi Gang countered with court documents from Nicki's husband's probation case. It stopped being just clapbacks, it turned into a full-blown war of receipts, case files versus surgery records. And you know who really ate during all this? The blogs. Pages like The Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked were dropping constant updates, screenshots, and every shady like in between. And it wasn't just US drama anymore. Even The Guardian ran think pieces about the toxicity of female rap beefs, while Spanish-language outlets hyped Cardi's Dominican pride, casting her as the underdog taking on the industry's gatekeeper. The feud went global. Even people who don't follow hip-hop were tuned in. To understand how we got here, you've got to rewind, back to 2017 and 2020. If the 2025 feud felt like an atomic bomb, that's because years of tension were already building. Cardi and Nicki didn't just wake up enemies one day. This beef is layered with petty shots, miscommunication, and straight-up chaos. It really started when Cardi's star began to rise in 2017. At the time, she was fresh off Love and Hip Hop, New York, and had just dropped her breakout single, Bodak Yellow. That song was inescapable, blaring from clubs, radio, and car speakers across the Bronx. By September, Cardi made history as the first solo female rapper since Lauryn Hill to top the Billboard Hot 100. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj was already a decade into her reign, multiple platinum albums, iconic verses, and still the undisputed queen of rap. But as Cardi's momentum grew, fans and media started spinning the two queens can't coexist narrative. The tension really took shape when both women ended up on the same Migos track, Motorsport, in 2017. At first, everyone thought Motorsport was a power move, a big unity moment for women in rap. But the celebration didn't last. When the video dropped, fans noticed Nicki and Cardi didn't film together, and immediately read it as shade. Cardi later said in interviews that Nicki changed her verse at the last minute. Nicki, on the other hand, broke down in tears during her Beats One radio interview, saying she felt blindsided and hurt that Cardi didn't give her proper credit. With Motorsport, I kind of felt ambushed, she said. From there, both camps tried to play it cool publicly, no beef, they insisted. But fans weren't buying it. The seed had already been planted. Nicki and Cardi couldn't coexist. By 2018, the subliminals were flying. Fans dissected Nicki's lyrics for hidden Cardi shots, while Cardi's rants online were read as thinly veiled responses. Stan pages started documenting every move like it was evidence. At that year's MTV VMAs, Nicki's Barbie Dreams line about Quavo still in the whip with Cardi was read as a diss, and Cardi's defensive posts only fanned the flames. Even when neither woman mentioned the other by name, their fan bases treated every gesture like a declaration of war. Then came September 7, 2018, the infamous Harper's Bazaar Icons Party during New York Fashion Week. That's when everything truly blew up for the first time. Reports said Cardi confronted Nicki, furious over rumors that Nicki had liked posts insulting her parenting. The scene turned chaotic fast. Cardi ended up hurling a red shoe across the room toward Nicki's crew. Photos spread instantly, Cardi leaving barefoot, her dress torn, and a huge lump on her forehead. Witnesses claimed Ra Ali, Nicki's longtime friend, swung on Cardi during the altercation. Cardi later said Ra never touched her, that the knot came from security. Nicki, though, doubled down on Queen Radio, saying Ra was the one who gave Cardi that bump. It was pure mayhem, and from that point on, the rivalry was locked in.
How you saying that I got ragged by Riley when there's so many footages of that night, every single angle, and where am I getting ragged at?
Nicki's fans swore Ra Ali laid hands on Cardi. Cardi's fans insisted she just missed Nicki with the shoe. Either way, that image of Cardi storming out barefoot with a knot on her forehead instantly became a meme, one of the most iconic snapshots of their feud. TMZ ran the story like it was WrestleMania.
How you say that I was the wild animal, that I attacked you, that you was mortified, that you was humiliated, playing the victim, but now you're the gangster? You need to pick a...
Days later, Nicki fired up Queen Radio and said, "You put your hands on certain people, you're gonna die. Period." Cardi clapped back on Instagram, writing, "I've let a lot of *T slide. I let you sneak diss me. I let you lie on me. But when you talk about my child, when you like comments about me being a bad mother, that's when all bets are off." That moment made it official. The feud was no longer about music. It was personal. After Harper's Bazaar, Nicki used Queen Radio as her battleground. She accused Cardi of using payola to boost her songs, mocked her for acting tough, and sided with other rappers who'd clashed with her. Cardi, in full Bronx mode, answered with a now legendary 10-part Instagram rant. In those clips, she addressed every claim point by point, even pulling out receipts, texts, contracts, and screenshots. You could hear both frustration and fire in her voice. By late 2018, the feud had turned into a numbers game. Streaming stats, Billboard placements, YouTube views, everything became ammo. Nicki then accused Cardi's label, Atlantic Records, of using payola to buy radio play, claiming Atlantic and the streaming platforms were propping Cardi up while blackballing her.
So how can I possibly use payola on some that endorses you?
Cardi shot back, saying Nicki was bitter and that her own success came from hard work, not label manipulation. Then Nicki dropped alleged text messages and private conversations to prove Cardi was lying, including DMs between her and Quavo showing she hadn't changed her motorsport verse to sabotage anyone. Cardi answered with her own stack of evidence, phone contracts, screenshots, and messages with Offset suggesting Nicki had tried to block her deals. The feud basically turned into courtroom drama. Every week, a new screenshot, audio clip, or voice note went viral. Fans started building timelines and evidence boards like it was a true crime case. The beef spilled directly into their music, too. Nicki's Hard White video featured a broken Cardi-like doll in the background. Fans instantly caught it as shade. Meanwhile, Cardi linked up with artists Nicki had previously fallen out with, like Megan Thee Stallion, drawing clear battle lines. Every verse either woman dropped during that time got dissected like evidence in a trial. Lines like Nicki's the QB, the QB, the QB in Barbie Dreams or Cardi's I Ain't Fighting for Attention, competitions never mentioned in Money became fan puzzles. Every lyric was treated like a coded message. By 2019 and into 2020, both rappers stopped throwing direct punches, but everything they did still got read as shade. Nicki unfollowed collaborators who worked with Cardi. Cardi liked comments mocking Nicki's chart drops. When Nicki dropped Yikes in 2020, fans were convinced she was still subbing Cardi. Then Cardi's press video came out, and the Barb swore she was clowning Nicki's court drama through imagery. Nicki's fans doubled down, calling Cardi an industry plant, while Cardi's fans said Nicki was bitter and past her prime. Every time one woman won, the other's fan base rushed to discredit it. The whole thing evolved into what people called a Cold War. Fewer direct shots, more silent moves. But everyone knew it wasn't over. It was just simmering, waiting for the next explosion. And what's wild is, before all this chaos, Cardi actually used to give Nicki her flowers.
Pull up all my videos, you see that I'm always showing you respect because you're somebody that I listened to ever since I was in high school.
In early 2016 interviews, Cardi openly called Nicki one of her inspirations. But once Bodak Yellow blew up, Nicki's fans started posting side-by-side clips, old ones of Cardi praising her, next to newer ones of Cardi defending herself against Nicki's shade. It looked like a flip, even though the truth was more nuanced. Every interview Cardi did back then came with a Nicki question, and she always tried to play it cool. I don't got no problem with her. People just want to make it something. But during her own press runs, Nicki dropped lines that sounded like slick disses. On Beats One Radio, she said, "The only thing with Cardi that really hurt my feelings was the motorsport situation." That single quote made Cardi look ungrateful, like she disrespected the legend who helped open doors for her. Then, in 2019, Cardi won the Grammy for Best Rap Album, becoming the first solo female rapper in history to do it. The Barbs flooded timelines claiming Nicki had been robbed in past years. Cardi celebrated but had to defend herself non-stop, saying, "I worked hard for this." That Grammy became the next battle line. For the Barbs, it was proof the industry was pushing Cardi over Nicki. For the Bardi Gang, it was proof Cardi had earned her place in rap history. The Cold War era, 2021 to 2024. By 2021, the loud public fights were over. No more Queen Radio screaming matches, no more 10-part IG rants. The Nicki and Cardi beef had entered its Cold War phase. Quiet tension, shady likes, strategic features, and fan armies doing most of the talking. Neither woman said each other's name, but fans read every verse like hidden messages. In 2021, Nicki dropped Seeing Green with Drake and Wayne, rapping, "These be asterisk 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 is thirsty. I can see why they alcoholics." The Barb swore it was aimed at Cardi, who'd been accused of partying too hard. Cardi's own 2021 single Up included the line "Big Bags Bustin' Out the Bentley Bentayga," which some took as a flex aimed at Nicki's constant big bag talk. Neither confirmed anything, but with their history, every lyric felt like a jab. Even though Queen Radio had started back in 2018, Nicki briefly brought it back during this time. Every time she went live, fans tuned in hoping for Cardi shade, and Nicki always gave them just enough to work with, quick digs about payola princesses or girls who need help writing. Cardi never responded on radio, but her fans clipped those quotes and blasted them all over TikTok, using them as proof Nicki was still obsessed. By 2022, the feud wasn't just living on timelines, it was baked into the algorithms. Barbs hosted streaming parties to boost Nicki's numbers on Spotify and YouTube. Cardi gang fought back by mass reporting Nicki's videos, claiming they broke policy. Even casual fans noticed the two fan bases trying to outplay the system. One of the biggest subplots of this era was Cardi's messy relationship with the City Girls. In late 2022, JT and Cardi clashed on Twitter over streaming stats and claims of industry favoritism, another public moment that dragged the Cold War right back into the open. Nicki immediately sided with JT, even hopping on a track with her. That made it clear, Nicki was aligning herself with the younger generation, as long as they were anti-Cardi. The move helped Nicki position herself as a mentor figure, while framing Cardi as the outsider who couldn't keep industry relationships steady. Fans turned it into another storyline, Nicki uplifting Ice Spice, JT, and other rising women in rap, while Cardi only had Megan Thee Stallion riding with her. Speaking of Megan, she and Cardi had been tight since their 2020 smash WAP, but by 2021 and 2022, things cooled off. Rumors started swirling that Megan was staying neutral, especially after she collaborated with artists Nicki supported. Cardi's fans called her a flip-flopper. Nicki's fans said it proved Cardi couldn't hold friendships. By 2023, the alliances were clear. Nicki teamed up with Ice Spice for the Princess Diana remix, giving the Bronx newcomer her official co-sign. Meanwhile, Cardi linked with Glorilla on Tomorrow 2, a record that went viral across TikTok. Fans treated these collaborations like chess moves. Barbs called Ice Spice the new queen in training. Bardi Gang said Cardi and Glorilla were the real street energy of female rap. Both collabs went crazy online, but the optics made it feel like Nicki and Cardi were still playing chess, just using rookies as pawns. And this Cold War wasn't just musical. Real-life legal drama poured gasoline on it. In 2022, Cardi won her $4 million defamation lawsuit against blogger Tasha K, who'd spread false rumors about her drug use and sex work. Bardi Gang celebrated it as a massive victory. Barb spun it the other way, saying Cardi couldn't take criticism. That same year, Nicki's husband Kenneth Petty was sentenced to house arrest for failing to register as a sex offender. Every time Nicki dropped new music, those headlines resurfaced. Cardi's fans dragged it into every debate. Nicki's fans said it was irrelevant to her legacy. Even outside of music, their personal lives kept the feud energy burning. Then came 2022, when Nicki scored a #1 hit with Super Freaky Girl. But when the Grammys pushed it into the pop category, Nicki went on a full rant, saying other female rappers were being protected while she was being sabotaged. Fans instantly tied it to Cardi, even though Cardi had nothing to do with it, accusing her of benefiting from industry favoritism. Cardi, on the other hand, didn't drop a full album in those years but still kept charting through singles and features. That became her talking point, winning without even trying. Meanwhile, Barbs claimed Billboard was boosting Cardi with bundles and discounts, echoing Nicki's old payola accusations. The fan base is obsessed over who held the #1 spot longer. Super Freaky Girl, debuting at #1 in 2022, was treated by Barbs as Nicki's comeback moment. Cardi's up hitting #1 in 2021 gave Bardi Gang their bragging rights. Fans literally made infographics comparing weeks at #1, Hot 100 entries, and streaming peaks, turning chart stats into war ammunition. Between 2021 and 2023, Nicki's fans pushed hard on one angle, accusing Cardi of not writing her own bars. They resurfaced old clips where Cardi admitted to co-writing hooks with producers and used them as proof. Cardi fired back on Twitter, "I make money, I make hits, and I make history. You're worried about credits more than charts." Still, the ghostwriting label stuck. Nicki leaned into it through subliminals, dropping bars about girls who need a team for every verse. When Cardi skipped the 2023 Grammys, blogs claimed it was because she didn't want to be in the same room as Nicki. Cardi later said it was for personal reasons, but the rumor stuck. Even just being seen at the same award show had become impossible. From 2021 to 2024, online spaces like Lipstick Alley and our pop culture rechat turned into war rooms for this feud. Every time Nicki or Cardi liked a post, blinked in a video, or posted a selfie, those forums went off. Thousands of comments debated whether Cardi's press video mocked Nicki's court drama, or if Nicki's outfits were copying Cardi's style. By this point, the beef had evolved into something bigger than rap. It was a cultural soap opera. Even neutral fans admitted it was addictive to watch. What made this phase so different was how both women mastered silence. No more IG rants or radio meltdowns, just quiet, calculated moves. Cardi would drop a like here, a retweet there. Nicki would post a cryptic emoji or laugh at a shady meme. To outsiders, it looked like nothing. To fans, every move was decoded like CIA intel. By the end of 2024, both sides had dug deep trenches. Nicki had her alliances with Ice Spice, JT, and the new wave of female rappers. Cardi had Megan, On and Off, Glorilla, and her loyal gang. The lawsuits, subliminals, collabs, and cold shoulders all stacked into one giant powder keg. So when that 2024 audio leaked in early 2025, it didn't feel random. It felt like the final crack in a dam that had been leaking for almost a decade. The Cold War turned hot again. Nastier, louder, and bigger than ever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, click one of the videos on your screen for more deep dives into hip-hop's biggest rivalries.